Are you ready for the coming of Jesus? Turn to Matthew 24, please. Starting to read at verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Shall be true in the field. The truth is, this generation knows less about the coming of the Lord than any past generation. This generation is least expectant of the coming of the Lord. It is seldom preached in American pulpits. It's seldom preached anywhere on the face of the earth today that Jesus Christ is coming very soon. See, we've settled in a comfortable lifestyle. We are living in the most prosperous time in the history of the world, they tell us now. And in the history of America, we are now enjoying, they tell us, the most prosperous, most blessed time in history. And the coming of the Lord would be very disruptive for many people of their good life. And it seems even Christians today are focused on the concept of just keep the good times rolling on. Very little thought about the coming of Jesus. Peter said, in the last days mockers will come with their mockings, following after their own lust, and saying, where is the sign of his coming? For ever since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue just as they were from the beginning of creation. But the day of the Lord will come, Peter said, as a thief in the night, into which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with a fervent heat. The earth also and the works therein shall be burned up.
In today's culture, there are many hidden symbols which we may or may not notice. There is evil symbolisms in certain types of fashion, print, hand gestures, video games, movies, books, tattoos, music videos, etc. The evil culture of people in society cowardly use symbols to show whom they belong to. But ultimately, anybody influenced to live a wicked life is influenced by Satan. Welcome to the Illuminati Symbolism by the Pastor's Chronicles. As you investigate the powers that be, in investigation, you must start from the bottom. And as you keep climbing the chart or climbing the ladder, you will behold who is behind the massacre and spiritual darkness in this world. In this Chronicles, we will understand, we will go from the bottom and we will venture to the top. And the Word of God and the exposing of evil will indicate who is behind all these catastrophic events that take place in our generation. Welcome to the Pastor's Chronicles.
She established her powers through persecution and by the devil. God is telling us that all the secret societies are her sons doing her dirty work while she campaigned that she's holy, trying to bring the world together in peace and in love. But the Bible teaches us what true love is But she's trying to bring all the world religions together in peace and love. But the secret societies and the leaders of the world actually work for her.
Chapter 18. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her.
Reign over who? Later we will understand that this is not the Illuminati. This is a greater power that's been here way before formed organized secret societies. Right now, let's look at some occult signs. The all-seeing eye, which is on top of the pyramid, is what we're going to actually break down right now. And you have blinded sheeple going along with this evil and don't even know that they lynching themselves.
The all-seeing eye was added to the original design of the Great Seal of the United States in 1776. Remained on this seal with the addition of an unfinished pyramid. When it was finally adopted in 1782, in 1935 the Great Seal was added to the dollar bill, the most widely circulated note on the planet, by President and Freemason Franklin D. Roosevelt.
What they want to tell you is that the eye is a representative of God who favors the prosperity of the United States. And that year, 1776, represents the birth of the United States. But the Master Masons learns that the all-seeing eye represents the great architect of the universe, G-A-O-T-U, who watches and sees everything and will judge us according to our works. Now you will have many that oppose this statement and say, oh, the Masons are God's people and they worship God and they do good things for the community. They are all Christians. But I want to share something with you. One of the masters of the Freemason Society, Albert Pike, which is a 33rd degree Mason, declares this.
Lucifer, the light bearer. Strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning. Is it he who bears the light, and with its splendors intolerable blinds feeble, sensual or selfish souls? Doubt it not. The devil is the personification of atheism or idolatry. For the initiate, this is not a person, but a force, created for good, but which may serve for evil. It is the instrument of liberty or free will. They represent this force, which presides over the physical generation, under the mythological and horned form of the god Pan. Thence came the he-goat of the Sabbat, brother of the ancient serpent, and the light-bearer or phosphor, of which the poets have made the false Lucifer of the legend. The true name of Satan, the Kabbalists say, is Yehu, God reversed, for Satan is not a black god, but a negation of God. The Kabbalah imagined him to be a most occult light. That which we must say to a crowd is, we worship a god, but it is the God that one adores without superstition. To you, sovereign Grand Inspectors General, we say this, that you may repeat it to the brethren of the 32nd, 31st, and 30th degrees. The Masonic religion should be, by all of us initiates of the high degrees, maintained in the purity of the Luciferian doctrine. If Lucifer were not God, would Adonai, whose deeds prove his cruelty, purify and hatred of man, barbarism and repulsion for science, would Adonai and his priests calumniate him? Yes, Lucifer is God, and unfortunately Adonai is also God. For the eternal law is that there is no light without shade, no beauty without ugliness, no white without black, for the Absolute can only exist as two gods, darkness being necessary to the statue, and the brake to the locomotive. Thus, the doctrine of Satanism is a heresy, and the true and pure philosophical religion is the belief in Lucifer, the equal of Adonai. But Lucifer, God of light and God of good, is struggling for humanity against Adonai, the God of darkness and evil.
A 33rd degree Freemason, said Arthur Elwood Wade. He said in the first conjuration addressed to Emperor Lucifer, he said, Emperor Lucifer, master and prince of the rebellious spirits, I adjure thee to leave thy abound, and whatsoever quarter of the world it may be situated, and come here to communicate with me. He also said, I command and adjure ye, Emperor Lucifer, as the representative of the mighty living God, and by the power of Emmanuel, his only son. So you see here that up in the ranks of the Freemasons, they worship Lucifer. Now, this is not some kind of conspiracy or something that I'm thinking. People, I'm reading from the very ones, the third degree Masons, Elwood Wade and Albert Pike. They was both 33 degree Masons. And you heard that Albert Pike was talking to the 30th, the 31st, the 32nd, and the 33rd degree Masons, because they worship Lucifer and see him as a god and the god of light. Now, I want to quote from occultist and author Manly Palmer Hall. He said, I hereby promise the great spirit Lucifer, prince of demons, that each year I will bring unto him a human soul to do with as it may please him. And in return, Lucifer promises to bestow upon me the treasures of the earth and fulfill my every desire from the length of my natural life. If I fail to bring him each year the offering specified above, a human offering, then my own soul shall be given or forfeited to him. Signed, watch this, and the pact with his own blood. So he signed it with his own blood, and he claims to give a human soul each year. And watch this, people. Look at how many artists died in 2016. You see, in Hollywood, they believe this stuff. They worship this stuff. They abide by this stuff. They under the law and rule of human sacrifices. They sacrifice babies, they sacrifice children, and they sacrifice old witches and one another. Look at how many people died in 2016.